Hello book club community. So I'm really not feeling very well today. Actually feeling kind of gross. The unfortunate part of that is I still have a horse that I do need to do something with, even if I'm not feeling up to riding or doing much at all, because pet ownership is a very important responsibility, and I never want to bypass that if I'm just not feeling well. So to counteract that, I got to thinking that I have another book here. It's one of those training books called 101 Ground Training Exercises. It's the same kind of principle as the clicker training book that I have, but this one is strictly for the horse, and I figured I would start going through these exercises. Now, before you get to the main exercise, they've got a whole chapter on introduction and the tools that you use and why you do what you do. I'm not going to read all of that to you because that's not pertinent to the experiment that I want to do with Athena. On days where I'm tired or on days when I just feel like doing a little bit of groundwork, I think what I'll do is the same kind of video that I do with the clicker training, only I'll do it with the horse. Now, the first lesson that we're doing, I'm going to read the lesson off to you here in the home where you can understand it a bit more and maybe hear it a bit better, and then once I get to the barn I'll do the actual lesson part of it, and then maybe there'll be less confusion of the barn. So the first one that we're going to do, we're going to start out really simple exercises. Most of these exercises, I think in the first chapter, Athena really has a good a view on it. But since I broke that horse on my own, I trained her on my own, it's always good to find a new method of doing things. So I'll go through with the author the way that they would like to have the training done and see if it's comparable to what I did. So the first few exercises are going to be like super simple, but it's always good to start at the basics. So the first one we have is the approaching to catch. Okay, so you're not actually putting the halter on, it's just the approaching to catch. So here's the how-to explanation. Walk up to the horse at a 3/4 or 7/8 front angle in a non-threatening posture with one shoulder leading, so you are presenting your side to him rather than facing him straight on. Stop 5 feet away and wait. If the horse approaches, let him come to you. If he does not approach, after a minute or so, move closer to him. Now, I don't know if Athena will approach. She's sometimes very opinionated. If he stands, reach forward with your closer hand and rub him on the forehead. If he moves away, use the principles of walk down, quote unquote, method to describe below to approach him again. So here's walk down. Keep your gaze low so as not to drive him. Walk towards your horse's shoulder. Keep walking at a slow, measured pace. When he stops, reach out and rub his forehead, neck, or withers. Be the first to leave. Pause, facing away from the horse for a minute or so, and then turn and approach him again. Repeat the procedure until you can walk right up to him right away. Persistence. Right here. First couple of times will take the longest. Most humans give in and give up if a horse avoids being caught for more than a few minutes. With some horses, this could take hours. If you are persistent, it will be the beginning of an establishment of a favorable habit. With each instance of catching, the time required will decrease until it is a matter-of-fact interaction that only takes seconds. Key points to remember. Move in even steps with no sudden movements, no sneaking or creeping which can make a horse nervous. Well, duh. Reward your horse with a soothing rub on the forehead or a scratch on the withers each time he stops and stands for you to approach. Do not use food treats as he's already being rewarded with the rest and rubbing. Do not get angry if your horse walks away. A gruff or negative manner will make it harder for you to catch him at first. At first, expect him to walk away and be pleased when he doesn't. If your horse is very green and fresh, it's a good idea to lunge him first and then practice this lesson. Refer to Free Lunging Exercise Part 3, Learning to Yield, on page 38. We'll get there. Variations. Approach from all angles. Approach from a normal walk, in slow motion, fast walk, and a trot. That might be interesting, we'll see. Increase the size of the pen. Your goal is to be able to approach and catch the horse in a large arena or pasture. So we're going to start in the arena, just because she's above, I think, doing it in the stall. If I have a real struggle, we'll go in the stall and we'll videotape in the stall. Common problems? The horse interprets your movement as a driving force and keeps walking away. Check your body language and review laying the groundwork on page 6. Body language is huge on these horses. I might make a video just on body language if you guys want to explain more of it. But yeah, body language is absolutely huge. Horse turns his hindquarters towards you. Review part 3, learning to yield, especially on the free lunge exercise, 21, and listen page 70, and 22, inside turn, page 72. Okay, if she turns her hindquarters to me, I'm going to make her believe that she's going to die. That is my #1 rule in all horses, is the hindquarters by no means ever point towards a human being. Those are your weapons. You don't know. No. But we will try this approaching to halter exercise. I have a feeling that it will be relatively easy for us, but that's a great start, especially since I'm really not feeling well. So here we go with another kind of how-to video, and thank you for listening, guys.
Okay.
Hello again, BookTube community. As you know from my introduction, I said that I was going to start a new instructional book with Athena, my horse. So the instructional book that we're working on is 101 ground training exercises. It's going to be starting with a really simple exercise, but there's variations on this exercise that I think will be fun for her to do. The subject today, because we are in a new training book, I will introduce her again for those of you who don't know her. This here is Athena. She's a 10-ish Percheron Cross rescue. When I got her, nobody was on her back. She hadn't had a bit in her mouth, so I started her. And we've been working on all kinds of training since then. She's a real sweet girl, and really the love of my life. So the first exercise that we're doing is approaching to halter, which is the first part of the read-through of the book. And my first opinion of the book is I do like this read-through version because you can look at the one side, flip over, and look at the other. So we're going to have to start without a halter on Athena. And I wanted you guys to see her when she was pretty because I just hosed her off and she's desperate to roll. So the premise of the exercise is to come up to the horse in a 3/4 view so that she doesn't run away and I'm able to rub her on the forehead. So we'll see how this works. So first of all, I have to take her halter off. And she's very probably going to go roll. Let me set these aside. This will be a longer training video than normal because we all get to watch her roll. Maybe. No? I'm going to try to give her chance to roll before I expect her to focus on anything that I'm asking her to do. Get your butt. Hey. Bear with us, guys. She hasn't found the right spot yet. Any minute now. Here we go. So you guys did see her when she was clean. From her in order to approach her to halter. So I'm going to move over here. Hey. Alright. So I'm going to move over here. Wait till she stops walking. It's like working with a kid. Okay. So the book says that I should approach with one shoulder leading, 3/4 view, which is here. So I'm going to walk up. approach really, really slow, which would creep most horses out because I think you're sneaking up on them. So I'm going to try that now. So still stay in the same posture, and go very slow up to her. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Next one that we're going to try is walking very fast. This will be the harder one because now it's going to be more aggression. So here I go, walking very fast. Good girl. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, walking very fast. Good girl. I don't mind her backing up because again I'm being very aggressive. Now it says to approach from different angles. So I'm going to start approaching from this angle here. Leading with the shoulder. Good girl. Now the hard one that I thought that she won't get is I'm going to trot up to her. Stay. Stop following the mother. I'm going to trot up to her, which for us is like a jog, I guess. So see if I can get it. Which is what I expected. Let's try it again. So obviously that's one we've got to work on. So what I'm going to do is just do it a little bit like a fast walk. So we're going to cut for now while I work on this, and if I get it, we'll splice that in again. If not, we'll leave that the way it is today and continue to work on it. So cut for now. All right, hello again, book 2. So I have her attention again finally, and we're going to end on the note of just approaching her, and I'll work on the trotting up to her as I continue to work on this exercise. It's a lot to ask a horse to stand there while I run at her. So here we go. I'm going to do the same approach. Just so that we end on a good note, and I don't think that she can get away with stuff that most horses shouldn't. I'm just going to get her to move her butt. Good. Oop. Good. Back. Back. Good. Alright. Very good girl. Alright, so the premise of the exercise is working out very well. The only one that we're not seeming to get very well is the running up to her, and again, that's a lot to ask of a horse. I don't think trotting up to her is really any time that you would be needed to trot up to your horse to put a halter on. Like, I don't, makes no sense to me. So I'm very happy with the fact that I can go up here like so, turn around, walk up to her, rub her head, tell her she's wonderful, and then I can put my halter on. So we're going to call that session done. I don't agree with the trotting up to your horse to get a halter on. Alright guys, so thank you very much for paying attention to me and her throughout all of it and all the disturbances, but that is exercise number 1 of 101 ground training exercises, and I will post another one when I have time. Thank you very much.